Jack Miller will line up at the head of row 2, in 4th, for Sunday night's Qatar MotoGP season opener. Row 2 is also where Miller started last year's Lusail rounds, when he was left a disappointed 9th in both races, after being slapped by some reality. The Australian returns with a more humble approach for the start of his second season at the factory Ducati team, working carefully on his pace in free practice, and taking nothing for granted. At the beginning of last year I started with this big chip on my shoulder. I'm going to be a championship challenger, and I soon got slapped with some reality, brought back down to earth, and then I was able to build a season from then on, more or less, Miller said. So this year I'm trying to start humble, calm, and just build my championship from here. Last year I had maybe more expectations for myself. False sense of expectations, let's say. This year I'm calm, I feel. What will be, will be. I gained a lot of experience last year. Nobody talks about it. I finished 4th in the World Championship last year, gained a lot of experience, had 2 victories, and I look forward to working on those strengths from last year. On a day when independent Ducati riders Jorge Martin and Enea Bastianini grabbed the limelight with 1st and 2nd on the grid, Miller stuck with hard tyres in the daylight FP3 session, spent the whole of FP4 on used soft tyres front and rear, then lapped within 0.287s of Martin's pole time in qualifying. Slipstreams made a bit of a difference today for sure with the headwind, but I felt good all day pretty much, Miller said. Spent the whole day riding alone. We did a lot of laps in FP3 and FP4. Some really long runs. The pace feels good. I feel as prepared as we can be for the race. But it's going to be a big tough one. The level of MotoGP is ridiculous now. Everybody is a contender for the podium. You can see how bloody difficult it is. For example, I didn't put a new tyre in FP3 and was 19th. It wasn't that I was riding around with one hand on the handlebars, going slow. I was pushing to my maximum on the hard tyre, but still 19th. That's how it is. Everyone is a contender. So it's going to be a stressful race, but that's what we live for. The 27-year-old, who is hoping to find a little more front feeling in warm-up, added that while he doesn't expect the podium to be as close as last year, he doesn't think anyone will be able to make an early break. Everybody's got a chance. I feel it's going to be one of those races, he said. For sure, once we get 15 laps in, I think things will mellow out more than they have in the years past. But to try and break away like a Stoner or Lorenzo of the past, those days are done. That's not happening. Suzuki may have gained 30 horsepower. One of many to be impressed by Suzuki's surge in top speed, Miller is intrigued to see how the GSXR handles its extra power in the race. 1st and 3rd on Friday, Alex Rins and Joan Mir qualified 10th and 8th respectively, but have traditionally been much stronger in race conditions. Miller estimates Suzuki may have found as much as 30 horsepower over last year's engine, which would equate to a rise of around 10%, although Rins and Mir said some of the speed has come from having a rear ride height device. I'm intrigued to see how this new Suzuki performs under race conditions, Miller said. It seems like they've gained what would be, in my opinion, around 30-something horsepower. It'd have to be because last year here Mir got passed by 2 Ducatis out of the final corner before the finish line. And yesterday, watching the sessions back, I saw Rins pass Di Gianantonio before the first corner. So they have quite a considerable improvement in terms of power. Suzuki is notably always been quite good on the tyres. Putting an extra 30 horsepower through the tyres, it will be interesting to see how that goes. Second of all is fuel consumption. You don't make a bike go faster without putting more fuel in. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on. Miller's teammate and reigning title runner-up Francesco Bagnaia qualified in 9th place, on a night when just 0.470s covered the top 10 riders from Martin to Rins. For me, a good result tomorrow will be a top 5, Bagnaia said. We have to be realistic, and in this weekend a lot of riders are faster than me. But now I have my feeling back with the bike. We've been working a lot on testing and bike development this year, and the first time that I touched something on the setting was today. So we can improve a lot tomorrow in the warm-up and also in the race. We just have to think that this is the first weekend of the season, and we don't have to be worried. Because if we start to be worried now, it's traumatic. In any case, I'm quite confident, quite happy with what we did today. Finally, I feel my bike again, and it's really great. I'm back riding my bike with my style, so I'm really happy. Both Bagnaia and Miller have made a surprise switch to a hybrid engine for this season, using a mix of 2021 and 2022 parts. The Satellite GP22 riders remain on the new 2022 engine.